As certified financial planners, we've seen firsthand how financial wellness is connected to other areas of wellness in our lives.
Join us as we explore the relationship between our physical, emotional, and financial well-being, and share the habits and tools we found effective in the pursuit of a balanced, intentional life.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Donna Grace.
This is Life Rebalanced.
Welcome to Life Rebalanced. It's been a little while since we've released a new episode, and you may be wondering where Lauren and I have been. Well, we've been around. We've just been busy. And Lauren, one of the things that we always say is you can do it all. You just can't do it all at the same time, right?
Definitely.
In an effort to really find proper balance in our lives, we had to focus elsewhere for a little while, but we're back and we're really excited to be getting going with another season of podcast episodes, bringing you knowledge we've learned along the way, really wanting to talk a lot about personal finance and your money and how you can do better with it. So Lauren, you can start. Why don't you share what you've been up to, where you've been over the last couple of months?
Yeah. Well, like all of us, we're experiencing this dramatic shift. I think life in general in society is experiencing a shift and a rebalance. We went from having all this time on our hands. I don't know how I had the time to go on so many hikes. I don't know about you, but those days are gone. We leapt from like 0 to 60 in no time flat. And so when you and I decided to take a little bit of a break to catch our balance, I've been spending a lot of time very consciously trying to be present with my kids. So it just so happened that we took a little break starting in July. So I have been spending a lot of time with my kids because they are now 10 and 12. And I'm recognizing very quickly that time frame where they're going to want to be spending time with me is closing and life is moving very quickly. So we've been doing a lot of stuff together. I also have just taken a little shift, maybe to focus more personally on my physical health and wellness. And that's looked like really trying to get my nutrition back on track and exercise back on track and getting myself in a really good spot to be able to take on this 60 mile an hour coming at you again, back to the real world that we have going on.
Very similarly, over the summer, I very intentionally just pulled back on my professional schedule altogether. I said, this is the time my kids are home. We're going to try and do as much as we can. And I was so satisfied when my oldest, who's 15, commented to me, it's like, Mom, you got a light schedule this summer. And I said, yes, I do. I do. I did that on purpose. He said, yeah, I like it. And really what it meant was I was able to watch swim meets in the morning that go from 8 to 10 in the morning. I was there for them and then going into the office afterwards. It meant leaving early on Fridays, or if the kids had something going on, so I could participate in stuff with them. Got to the beach far more than I have in other summers. I also threw my back out like several times. So that was not fun, but I was really glad that I didn't have a heavy schedule during that time because that would have been horrible. But yeah, it was really just time to kind of focus on family, reset for myself personally. Physically, I am back on track. I was a mess this summer physically.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling really good now, really put a focus back on, like you kind of just said, proper nutrition, exercising again. And, we always say that those habits around eating and around exercise are those cornerstone or keystone habits that really spill over into other areas. I think that getting those back on track really made me able to put my foot on the gas again at work when it was time to in the fall. My schedule ramped back up. I was almost overwhelmed looking at those first weeks in September. It was like I started really back in the second half of September and my schedule got really full. And it was almost overwhelming to look at the calendar versus the way it had been in the prior several weeks. But it's a good thing. Business is good. I feel like we're both in very similar stages, Lauren, you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm a couple months behind you. I'm now entering into that. Just my schedule is packed so tight. You're timing things by every 5 minutes practically. But I've anticipated that and prepared for it.
Yeah.
Just like you're describing. And I had that time to relax and rejuvenate and get prepared. And now I'm in a place where I have the energy and endurance and ability to show up the way I need to show up for my clients, for my coworkers, for the people who need me professionally in a way that I wouldn't have been able to had I not taken that time earlier in the summer.
I did a conference and it was FinCon actually. And one of the speakers was talking about, I did it virtually, I should say. But she was speaking about how she had to pivot her business during the pandemic and then the pace that she had been at and constantly going.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a live chat during it. And I commented, sometimes in order to really be moving full speed ahead, you have to step back so you can have a reset. You need to rest. You need the pause or the rest so that you can then move ahead the way you want to, with the intentionality you want to, with the focus that you want to. But it does take that time. It does take a minute to get you there.
It does. And sometimes you have to give yourself grace in those moments. Like we talk about on every episode when we're interviewing someone and ask them how they're giving themselves grace. The way that you and I gave ourselves grace was we didn't beat ourselves up over not pushing out a podcast episode every 2 weeks during that time frame. That would have been really easy to do. And I think we were both very gracious with each other in understanding and very much on the same page, which I appreciated so much.
I was just going to say, it was really convenient that you and I both found ourselves in a similar position at the same time.
It was.
So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you as well.
And thank you to our producer, Virginia. We appreciate that as well, that she could bear with us during that time.
Well, and to be honest, everything has a season. I think that she has been so busy as well and probably just worked out for her, I'm thinking.
Yeah, her growth's been fantastic.
Yeah, it has been.
That's awesome.
Congratulations to her for that.
Well, now that we're back in action, focusing on money, that's what we focus on all day at work, right? Is behavioral finance, investments, planning, how we can help our clients do better with their money, use their money in a way that reflects their values. And that's what we really want to share in the next couple of months here on the podcast with all of you, is just what are some of the money lessons we've learned? How can we do better with it? How can we be more efficient with it? And how can we really use it in a way that reflects our values and our goals? Because it's just a tool. It's not a judgment, a moral judgment. I don't see money or income or assets as an accomplishment. It's just a tool to help you be a better version of yourself if you use it the right way. And so that's really what we want to share with you over the next couple of months.
Yeah, just little tips and tricks and things where you may not have thought about your money in the way that we're describing it, but hopefully it's something that helps you leverage the resources you have, to your point, Donna, to spend your money in a way that you value and use those resources wisely.
I look forward to our upcoming episodes, and I look forward to all of you joining us. So thanks for catching up with us today. I feel like we just had virtual coffee or a virtual cocktail with you, catching up, and looking forward to some more. So be well.